Good morning. It's Thursday, March 28th, 2019. And in this video, we're going to dissect the anatomy of a Bitcoin moon. This is the 24 hours of Bitcoin. You can pause the video to read our disclaimer or click on the link in the description down below. Jumping right into Bitcoin price charts, of course, we cannot tell if this is going to be a Bitcoin moon from here or not because nobody actually can tell the future. So what I'm going to do is go to the daily view and zoom back, and we're going to go back to when there was a Bitcoin moon, and we're going to dissect some of the anatomy there that is going to give us some insight as to what we're seeing right now. So anywhere along this Bitcoin moon path, we are likely to find a situation that is similar to what we're experiencing right now. A chart pattern that'll give us an insight as to what we might be able to expect over the next while, as maybe the next Bitcoin moon is going to be unfolding over the next 12 to 18 months. So as I zoom back on this, we've been spending quite a bit of time looking at the exponential moving, or the 200 period moving average, and how far away it was from our dump here. And we were also looking at the relative strength index on the long-term view, and we were looking to see where was it this oversold, the same amount of oversold as it was before. And we looked way back here and saw this and said, there they are. There's the 2 points. There's another point here that we didn't really talk about too much. So now I'm going to zoom into those ones and take a look at those points. Let's pull it back. And we see those 2 points when it was most oversold. Here's another one that was very, very oversold, almost the same time period. And I've been spending a lot of time comparing our current chart to this time period in the 2015 chart. But I've come to think that we are more like this time period in the chart. And this is a more similar circumstance to what we're right up against right now. So as we zoom in on this, what similarities can we find? So earlier, I was looking at the similarities of the super low RSI and the uptrend here that went along. And if we go along this one, it's an uptrend that went for a long time as the market went up, but it didn't really break to new highs. Then the RSI came all the way back down, and we're at new lows here, and we're following a very similar pattern to what we were anticipating from prior moves, except that we're seeing this sideways ascending wedge triangle build and build and build and build with the rising RSI at the same time. So what I'm going to look for is the moving average crossovers, and I'm going to compare what is going on with the other indicators that we watch every day. So here is our RSI, very similar circumstance. Let's go on to the next indicator that we look at each time. I'm going to do the on-balance volume first. So let's go to the 1 year view. We're going to pull it back, and we're going to look for that similar circumstance way back in the past in 2015. And so here is the on-balance volume before things took off. We had a couple skewers down, and then it was a steady trickle of on-balance volumes positive on the dailies as the prices were edging up against the support and resistance levels. So as it passed, we saw the on-balance volume increase day by day. And I can use my keyboard to just move one day at a time forward this way. We can do some great back testing this way to plan out your trade, then go back and move this forward one tick at a time to see how would you have traded this? How would you have traded this? So now we're going to be watching for a similar pattern in the markets right now as we're unfolding. If the on-balance volume is picking up while these prices are pulling out, it's going off much higher. Now let's see what we can determine by looking at the MACD indicator, the moving average convergence divergence. And I always think of acceleration when I think about that, because the convergence and divergence are changing to show a change of acceleration. Anyway, we're in the daily here. We see the crossover, and it stayed essentially positive and crossed over all the way along. It nudged down, but then we were positive histograms all the way along here, and it just stayed positive. The histograms continued to grow as the volume did, as the on-balance volume did. So we've got some really great indicators to give us an idea of what we should be expecting this time. And again, we're seeing the crossover. We're seeing that they are positive all the way along, though the histogram has been a little bit negative, positive, negative. It's not really doing the same thing yet. It hasn't given us enough of a positive change. So we'll watch for that histogram to go positive. We're going to watch for, zoom into the current days. We're going to watch for this on balance volume to continue to tick higher as the days unfold over the next few days. And we're going to continue to watch for the relative strength index to continue to tick higher after these moves move out. We should be seeing this reach up into the overbought territory as we're breaking out. And that should be is what we're seeing as we're seeing this breakout. That is the anatomy of the Bitcoin moon formation as it's just starting out right at the very beginning right now. Now in this show, we usually go over these four markets because not only do we want to look at Bitcoin and the indicators of what it's doing and the overall chart patterns, but we want to see how that relates to the rest of the market as well. And with Stellar, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin all making significant technical bottom formations, classic bottom formations that we see in all technical analysis textbooks, right back from Edwards and McGee back in the, 1939 when they published that book. They show these bottom formations. I see some people are mistaking these as a head and shoulders formation, and it's close, but it is not a head and shoulders formation. This is a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It's an ascending wedge at the end of a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, but it's not quite I may be picking nits here, but it's not a head and shoulders bottom formation, inverted head and shoulders. Not here, not there. This is the closest to an inverted head and shoulders. Should we break higher than the 13, 14 cents here, then we would have an inverted head and shoulders, because you have to have a shoulder, a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation for the head, and then a 1, 2, 3 bottom breakout for the next shoulder. Those are requirements. You can't have a head on one side and two shoulders. Any rate, I think Bitcoin prices are going to be mooning. I think this is all a great build up for it, and I'm still very, very bullish. I'm keen to see what happens and it unfolds, because then I'll be able to uncover my own confirmational bias as prices either disprove what I'm saying and they go down. Then I'll have to look back and say, what was I doing wrong? And if they go up, then of course that verifies what I've been thinking, and I'll add on to my trade to prove reinforce my correctness and make sure that my winners are bigger than my losers. That's it for this stream. I enjoy having you guys along here. Thanks for all the thumbs up and the subscribers recently. Be sure to drop by IntroToCryptos.ca and sign up so that you can get our free chapter from my book and get the Bull Market Watch spreadsheet from our other channel so that you can be following along with the bullish index of the entire cryptocurrency market. Again, thanks for tuning in. I'll sign off here and wish you all of the best in your Bitcoin trading. I'll talk to you tomorrow.